Alright guys, so let's go ahead and finish up this problem. What we just did in the previous video was I took this equation, this quadratic equation, which I've given you in standard form. We just looked at how you complete the square, right? So we complete the square and I get the vertex form. And the reason vertex form is so important is because it immediately, visually lets me recognize the value of A, the value of H, which has to be the opposite, right? The horizontal shift, it goes in the opposite direction. If it's a -3, you would go +3. If it's a +3, you would go -3 for the horizontal shift. And then the value of K, so A, H, and K. We already talked about the fact before we even started completing the square, we know it's vertical because it's Y equals, and it's the X that's squared. I know that it opens up because A, right, A is positive, and that means that it opens up. What we're now going to do is, since we completed the square and found the value of A, H, and K, we'll use that formula sheet to answer all of the questions I ask you about this parabola. So here we go. Let's just jump right into it. Again, guys, all of this comes right off of that formula sheet. I ask you for the vertex. Well, the vertex is given by H, K. Right? That's the vertex. Well, what is HK? Well, H is 3, K is a -12. So my answer is 3, -12. That is where my vertex is, right? That's an ordered pair that I can plot. X is 3, Y is -12. So over 3 and down 12. The axis of symmetry. My formula sheet tells me that the axis of symmetry is at X equals H. Okay, X equals H, no problem. H is 3. So my axis of symmetry is X equals 3. There's my axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is a dotted line that runs vertically through X equals 3. Remember, the axis of symmetry splits the parabola right down the middle. That's why it's called an axis of symmetry. The parabola is symmetrical around this vertical line. Go over to X equals 3, draw your dotted vertical line, your parabola will open around that axis of symmetry. The focus on my formula sheet tells me the focus is at H, K plus 1/4A. Okay, so again, remember, from the vertex, I will go up a certain distance. That little distance is 1/4A plus 1/4A. The directrix is down that exact same distance. So for the directrix, again, on that formula sheet, it's Y equals K minus 1/4A. So from the vertex, which is in the middle, I'll go up 1/4A to get my focus, and I'll go down 1/4A to get my directrix. So let's figure out what is 1/4A. I'll do that right down here. Let me slide down just a little bit to go ahead and get this for you. Here we go. I need to find K plus 1/4A, which is going to be, well, my value of K was a -12 plus 1/4. The value of A was a 2. So that means I have -12 plus 1/8. Again, feel free to plug that in onto a calculator. I get -95/8. Since in most cases I would be asking you to graph this guy, a decimal will probably be better. That's going to be a -11.875. So right up here, my focus is at H, which remember was 3. So 3, K plus 1/4A. Well, K plus 1/4A is -11.875. So -11.875. Right. My directrix. Well, let's go ahead and do that. The directrix is at K minus 1/4A. -12. No need to do, well, yeah, whatever. Let's do it. Minus 1/4 times 2, which means I have -12 minus 1/8. Use a calculator if you need to. I get -97/8, which is approximately -12.125. Sorry, I apologize. I had to squeeze over there. But anyway, here's what you get. Y equals minus 12.125. And again, that comes from doing k minus 1 over 4a. The focus is up from the vertex 1 over 4a, a distance of 1 over 4a. The directrix is below the vertex by a distance of 1 over 4a. That's why that one's plus and that one is minus. Then the length of the lattice rectum is given to you by the absolute value of 1 over a, which of course is just simply going to be equal to the absolute value of 1 over 2, which of course is just 1/2. Right? And so what that does is that answers all of the questions that I have given you for this particular parabola. I asked you for everything on that sheet. Direction of opening, it's vertical and up. Vertex, axis of symmetry, focus, directrix. The point is this. Once you have completed the square and you know the value of a, h, and k, guys, it is plug and chug into those formulas on the formula sheet. Just don't fat finger something on your calculator. Really very easy. The tricky part is completing the square to figure out a, h, and k. So we'll do several more example problems together here on the following pages of the notes. We'll really kind of focus on completing the square, getting more practice doing that, even though we've already done it back in chapter 4. You know, just sort of refresh it here, and then we'll, quickly run through the sort of plugging it into the formulas to answer the questions that I asked you for. So head on over to the next page of the notes. We'll try another one of these together. I'll meet you guys there.